So when they see them code mapped and monster mapped, they can see, right, that represents a sound, those two letters represent a sound, and that letter represents a sound. These monsters tell them which sounds. So we've got s, d, said. In the early stages of learning to read and learning to use phonics, they're going to start from the left to go to the right, and they're going to do single sounds. So they're going to think of that as a s, that is an a, that is an I, that is a d. So they're going to go s, a, I, d. Now, because they're used to it, or our children are used to it, they'll then go, oh no, hold on, that's the word said. But what you need to do is go back and say, okay, so you know that's said, you recognize that's the word said. Now give me the sounds again. Okay, so s, d, said. Even though when it's like this in a regular book, it's not going to give the clues, but they still need to go back after they've worked it out and thought, hold on, it's not s, a, d, that doesn't make any sense. It's the word said, so s, d, said. I needed to make sure that I saw those two together. S, d, said, s, d, said.
But he will not sit. See him up there, see him there, and see him up there. It will det on to up top.
Good boy.
Said did not sit.
Good boy.
Wet fell off. Wet fell off. Wet.
Good boy.
Said zid and zod.
Good boy.
Wet.
As you can see, he knows that's the word said. And in the sort of old traditional learning whole words as sight words, whatever, he'd have had that ticked off, I know that's the word said. But by making sure that we're paying attention to the phoneme to grapheme mapping, we're making sure we know that he understands that said is made up of three phonemes, said. The S represents the S sound, the AI represents the E sound, and the D represents the D sound. D, said. Especially if they're not using SSP code mapping, because when we're using SSP code mapping, the children have that attention to the phoneme to grapheme mapping using the visual clues. So that's how the word is segmented, and also the speech sound monsters, which show which letters map with which speech sounds. Great work, Spencer. Keep the videos coming.
Thanks, Miss Emma. Even if he says the wrong sound but says the correct word, we know we have to correct it. Thanks for the coaching.
Bye.
Bye.